How's it going, everybody? I'm back with another video, and today I want to talk about Halloween kills. We did the Halloween 2018 Let's Talk About It, which is the name of the video, where we just talked about some of the things that I really enjoyed from that film and the things that were memorable. And I'm doing this as a series leading up to Halloween Ends, and I figured we did Halloween 2018, we'll do Halloween kills. Just a reminder, tomorrow I'm going to do a Halloween Ends reaction video. And then Monday or Tuesday, you guys will get a Halloween Ends badass or trash review. Really excited about those because we don't have a lot of them here on the channel, but I'm really excited because we're going to get a few of them. And yeah, hope you guys are along for the ride. So with that being said, if you wouldn't mind liking this video and subbing to the channel, we'd always appreciate it. And really quick, before we get into the video today, I want to talk about RAZE Energy. I want to talk about REPP Sports. I have the shirt on here. I got it to fit a little bit better since my last unboxing video. I just want to talk about REPP Sports for a second. It's a great company with a lot of great energy drinks. Like this one here, it's a Baja Lime. They have a bunch of flavors, got a rainbow flavor. They have Blue Shock, which tastes a lot like Voltage Mountain Dew. There's a Voodoo flavor. It's kind of like a Halloween type, like a citrusy kind of taste, which is probably like my favorite right now. And but they have so much more than just energy drinks. They have apparel, they have wristbands, they have protein powders and sleep aids and pretty much anything else you can think of. So I'm happy to announce that we are proud sponsors of REPP Sports and RAZE Energy. And so today you can go to reppsports.com. I have the link down in the description, and you can use our discount code DEADHEAD96 for 15% off your entire order, and you will not regret it. Great products, great drinks, and a lot of great stuff. I definitely look to be buying stuff from there, so I hope you guys do as well. So enjoy that discount code we have down below. Again, I'll have all that stuff in the description. Get you some RAZE Energy, get you something from REPP Sports, and join the RAZE Rebellion. So with that being said, let's talk about Halloween kills. So I'm gonna do this one a little bit differently than last time. I didn't take any notes for Halloween 2018. I have some notes here that we'll kind of go through after rewatching the film and kind of going through it. So let's start off with some things that really pointed out to me. Halloween kills. So let me just tell you this just before I get into it. When I first watched this film, I wasn't too happy about it, mostly because I thought the dialogue was shit. I thought as far as story goes, it just wasn't all that. I thought the inclusion of Tommy Doyle was kind of corny. They could have done it well, and each time they try to bring Tommy back into the story after the original one, and it just failed miserably. Anyway, so introducing Tommy Doyle has never been good to the series, and I don't know, like the musical cues, I just wasn't really feeling it as much. And just all that together, besides the kills, which were amazing, I just thought the film was pretty subpar. So going back and watching this, and I've watched this movie now probably at least 5 or 6 times since its theatrical release, and I do like it better. Matter of fact, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, I know it's not great, but I know it's not the shittiest thing in the world, so I enjoy watching it because it's all the carnage. But anyway, let's get into this. So one of the first things that I'll mention is I love how the movie starts out, where you have Allison's boyfriend. He runs up on Officer Hawkins. As we know, he got stabbed in the throat by the new Loomis, Dr. Sartain. And one of the things he's trying to get out, he's having trouble speaking, and the boyfriend's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? And he says he needs to die. Opens up really, really straightforward. And then right after that, it goes into a flashback sequence. And this shit is so badass. I love the atmosphere. It has the same feel of the 1978 original film, and I really, really appreciate the flashbacks. Michael goes back to his childhood home, and Deputy Hawkins and his partner track Michael down, and his partner gets killed. Gets killed, but not by Michael himself. He gets killed by Hawkins. He doesn't mean to. He takes a shot, it kills him while Michael's holding his partner, and then the entire Haddonfield Police Department finally got to the Myers house and was able to subdue Michael. And it has that really, that nice camera work of, you see the scene just panning out where you see Michael standing in the front yard and everybody's surrounding him. And then cue the theme, the beautiful, beautiful theme by John Carpenter. But the theme is a little bit different than the normal one. It has a little bit more like like a chorus in the background going like during the song. It's like and I know it sounds pretty bad coming from me, but it's I love those little like nuances they add to the original theme track. As long as it sounds good, I'm fine with it. I'm not really a big fan of the techno kind of style that we get later on as far as the music goes in this film, because it reminds me of Halloween 2. While I like Halloween 2, I feel that the musical cues are not as good, and I think it's because it has that futuristic sci-fi kind of vibe to it. So I put it in my notes, has a very Halloween 2 vibe with the musical cues. So it leads me to my next thing. I talked about this before. Tommy Doyle is corny. He comes off of like a very corny guy, giving this scary story at the bar about the night where he killed like 3 or 4 people, and how it still devastated him and the people there to this day. I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm not putting anything off on that. I mean, people got murdered in this situation here, but I just find it hard to believe that after all this time, they're still harping on it as one of the most devastating things that happened in the surrounding area. I'm sure there's been other things that come up that's been 10 times worse. I mean, you got to think 1978, if you're going by like realistic standards, you had Ted Bundy, you had Jeffrey Dahmer, you had these like John Wayne Gacy, you had these real serial killers who killed way more people. And I'm not that this is a dick measuring contest, you know, but anyway, we'll get off of that. Yeah, let's say him telling the events of the first movie at the bar, I feel that story is so corny the way he was telling it, with the spotlight and everything. So after that bar sequence, we get to one of the most badass scenes, and I will say this is one of the most badass Halloween scenes in general. And like I said, I'm sure I'll have pictures throughout this whole thing. But Michael comes out of Laurie Strode's engulfed in flames house, and he's standing there with this rod, and he starts like killing all these firefighters, and they're trying to take him down. Now I will say it's kind of stupid. They were kind of going at him one at a time. I don't know if you guys have ever played like the original Assassin's Creed. Look, I love those games. They're near and dear to my heart. But let's be honest. Sometimes the combat can look a little silly because you have one guy attacking like at one time. And I thought with as big and as menacing as Michael is, you would think like everybody would have ganged up on him at one time. But Michael takes them all on at once. Beautifully shot scene. I love the lighting, like you see the flames, and it surrounds Michael so nice. When Michael's standing on the porch and he's about to go to town, that's one of my favorite Halloween shots pretty much ever. So right after that, he moves on, and he goes inside the house of this older couple, and they're pretty, you know, comedic. And the wife has got like this like little like toy helicopter. She flies into the bathroom, and then she hears a smack, and then the helicopter gets thrown from the bathroom. The bathroom is dark, you can't see in there. Lo and behold, Michael's in there, and he ends up killing, straight up like mercilessly killing the husband pretty quickly, or at least make him pretty close to death. I think he was still moaning a little bit. He chased the wife down, put the light bulb in her neck, and then he proceeded to move her body to the side of the kitchen and make her watch while he put her husband's body up on the kitchen island and starts stabbing his back with different knives. And every time he would put a knife in the dude's back, he would like turn his head like he's looking at his work. And it's got those childlike tendencies that I really, really like in Michael Myers, and I think they did a really good job with this. And by the end of it, he had so many knives on that guy's back, he looked like a porcupine. And I think Michael is like proud of his work. Again, you get that childlike tendencies. Evil dies tonight. Dude, they say that so many times in this film, and it's like, honestly, this movie has become a meme because of it. Like, because they say it so many times. And like, I think like the writers were in the writer room, and they came up with this "Evil dies tonight" slogan, and they just thought, dude, this shit's gonna stick, man. This shit goes hard. And then they say it like 50,000 times, and now it's just a meme. I had Brandon Murata of Murata Media on the podcast, and he said that he was talking to a buddy because he's playing the game online. He was talking to a buddy of his, and he said, "Hey, you ready for for Halloween Ends in a couple weeks?" And his friend just paused, didn't say anything, and all of a sudden you hear him say, "Evil dies tonight." And it's because of just how many times they said that in this film. Then you get the Little John, Big John, and I know I'm kind of getting a little bit farther in the movie here, He does go to their house pretty soon after that. But seeing Michael's childlike tendencies again, when he positions both of their bodies in the same way they are photographed in the picture laying on the nightstand, I thought that was really cool. Again, showing that side, that childlike side of Michael. And obviously before that, when Michael pops out Little John's eyes, he squeezes his head and then puts his thumbs in his eye sockets and boom, you see his eyes pop out. Shit's gnarly. Tommy Doyle leads a mob. Now, they straight up took this idea from Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I think honestly, like, I'm fine with it. I think that's pretty much the only way you could probably kill Michael, or at least, try to restrict him, because obviously the law enforcement in these movies are trash. So, like, that would be the way to do it. But it was just the way Tommy Doyle was leading them was just very, very corny. And really one of my least favorite parts of this whole film. So let's see. Michael kills the husband in the doctor costume. I do like this part. Michael kills the husband in the doctor costume and then kills the wife in the nurse's outfit hilariously. So, like, she's coming up. So he kills the husband in the back seat. I think he jams him in the eye with something. And then she has like a Desert Eagle, his wife, and she's in a nurse outfit, and she's like outside of the car. And she's like just firing. But I mean, like, she can't aim for shit. And she's shooting like a whole magazine. And, well, almost, right? He gets close to the car, and she's still just like every shot was missing. And then she got so close to the car, Michael was able to kick the driver's side door, and it hit like the barrel, or like the sights of her Desert Eagle, and it flipped around and blew her damn brains out. And I thought, to this day, it's one of the funniest. Really, it's not even like the way she died was hilarious, because one, realistically, why would she pull the trigger? But I will say it was an entertaining kill nonetheless. And I did like that. He also, in that same car, he kills the nurse from the original 1978 film. She does say something, though, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. She says, "This is for Dr. Loomis." She pulls the trigger, and then she's out. She doesn't have any bullets left. And it doesn't really make much sense, because considering the other movies, so after the original 1978 film, all the other movies are not supposed to exist. So it's supposed to be 1978, then Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. So if the other ones didn't exist, I'm almost positive that if the other ones didn't exist, I'm almost positive Michael did not kill Dr. Loomis. So I don't really know what she's referring to right there. And I find that with this trilogy, while they try so hard to get away from what came before, they still are attached to some of the things that did happen in those movies. And this is for Dr. Loomis. Didn't really make much sense. She wasn't even in the 1978 movie that long. She had one little encounter with Michael, and that was it. So I don't really understand that line all that much. Maybe you guys do. I don't know. I personally, next thing I did write down, I personally find Laurie's daughter Karen to be very annoying in this movie. I find the actress, and nothing off on her, but a lot of her roles, she's just annoying. I don't really have much else to say about it. But she complains 80% of the film, and her arc with the Danny DeVito character, the other escapee that escaped with Michael Myers. She was trying to save him. Everybody thought he was Michael, including that dumbass Tommy Doyle. And it's like, I didn't understand what that was for. And I think that's my next one. One of my next points is, I just didn't feel anything for this Danny DeVito looking dude. I just didn't care, and they tried to get you to care, and everybody's chasing after him thinking he's Michael, and she was trying to look out for him, and it just didn't work. He ended up jumping off and splat right on the damn pavement. But I literally felt nothing. I mean, was I supposed to feel something when he jumped out the window? I didn't, and I didn't really care for her arc in this film. Anyway, it's super hard to believe everyone in the hospital believes Laurie. Besides, all right, so what I put down here, it's super hard to believe that everyone in the hospital, besides Laurie and Karen, believe the other escapee who resembles Danny DeVito is Michael Myers. So yeah, it makes no sense. For so much of a legend that Michael Myers is in Haddonfield, I don't understand how you think this guy is Michael Myers. He looks nothing like him. He's not wearing the mask. And last I checked, Michael's pretty fucking tall. And you're telling me they don't remember how tall he was? They think he's just this shriveled up short guy? I mean, come on, dude. I keep saying Danny DeVito, but it's a damn disgrace to even compare him to that. I'm just saying like his height. So the big reveal after that is that Michael was never after Laurie Strode. This whole thing is that Michael's, stalking her and he's coming after Laurie, and it's just a coincidence how they keep ending up in the same place. I mean, Dr. Sertain was doing everything in his power in the last film to get him as close as possible to her, because he wanted to see how they would react and how he would react to seeing her. And so Michael's not really after her, even though they do have a connection, I feel like, and then maybe they'll explain that in ends, I don't know. He's not exactly looking for her, and I was kind of glad they cleared that up in this film, because as you know, they're not brother and sister in this universe. So I am interested to see if they are connected in some capacity. The next thing I really like was Allison and her boyfriend head into the Myers home, and the boyfriend comes into contact with Michael, and he gets fucked up. I mean, he gets badly beaten. I mean, like, bad. He's getting stabbed and thrown all places and smashed into the wall, and then they smashing his head into like the top of the stairs. You got the railing, and smashing his head right into the railing. And at the bottom, Allison is screaming at Michael, telling him to stop, stop it, blah, blah, blah. And Michael just looks at her, and it's so crazy. Michael looks at her, and like the boyfriend's like got his head, he's like unconscious pretty much, and he's on top of the stairs where he just had his head bashed into this railing, and Michael just grabbed the dude's head and just snapped it, and you hear Allison scream, and then Karen comes to the rescue, comes at him with the pitchfork, brings him down, stabs a few times, takes his mask, and leads him back to the mob, the Tommy Doyle led mob. And they start to overwhelm Michael. They start beating the crap out of him. And I do like this part. They all start ganging up on him, stabbing him and shooting him and stuff. But while that's going on, you got Laurie's voiceover. Every time he kills, he transcends. And just when everybody thinks he's dead, Michael gets up and starts slaughtering everybody. And I love that. That's an absolute bloodbath. Nobody can stop him. And even Tommy Doyle, badass Tommy Doyle that they tried to establish in this film, he bites it right here. And it really shows you that really, like, at this point, there's no going back. He's immortal, or he is supernatural in some way, shape, or form, but we just don't know. Again, maybe explain it ends. One thing I will say, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense how Laurie knows Michael gets stronger with every kill. Again, if the other movies didn't exist, why would she say that? I'm still like the continuity errors in this trilogy so far have been just blatant, because it's like, if you're saying nothing else came before, then you can't have characters saying stuff like this. You just can't. You know what I mean? Michael goes back to his house while Karen is staring out of the sister's window and kills her. And I do like that part. It didn't show a whole lot, and I don't think it was supposed to. I mean, we've seen so much carnage in this movie. This movie is absolutely bloody as hell, which I do love. And what I do like is there is an alternate ending, even though I'm pretty sure at the start of Halloween Ends, I guess this wouldn't really add up. But the alternate ending shows Laurie calling Karen and wondering where she's at, and Michael picks up and he's like breathing on the line. Laurie gets the inclination that her daughter's in trouble, and she starts walking to the hospital and says, I'm coming for you, Michael. And that's the end of the scene. Obviously, that leads to nowhere, because I think the way Halloween Ends pops up, I think it's like a time skip. So obviously, I think that's thrown away. But wouldn't it have been cool if she gets the phone, or she calls, Michael answers, and she's going after him, and that's what Halloween Ends is all about. I don't feel like it's going to be that way, which sucks, and maybe that's why they took this ending out of the film. But anyway, so those are my main plot points of the movie. I know that seemed very bland. I hope it wasn't too bland. Hopefully you stuck around, and maybe you guys really appreciated some of those highlighted scenes that I picked out. The movie has a lot to offer, and I don't think it's as bad as some people think. I don't think it's better than 2018, but I will say I think it's bloodier. I think that it's definitely more action-packed, and if that's what you're going for, you'll love it. If you're going more for suspense and horror, not really that as much. But you know what? We hadn't seen Michael really go apeshit in a long time, so this was really, really cool to see, and I hope we get more of it. I don't think Halloween Ends is going to be nearly as bloody. So it felt good to get something like this. So let me know what you guys think about Halloween Kills. Did you like it when you first seen it? Do you like it better now? Have you seen it since the theatrical release? Let us know down in the comments. And of course, like I said, like and sub to the channel if you wouldn't mind. And again, don't forget about picking up some RAZE Energy from REPP Sports. And like I said, you can get anything else off of that site. Discount code down in the description. Deadhead96 all together, caps, and get you 50% off your 15% off your entire order. So yeah, with that being said, be looking out for my Halloween reaction coming up next, and then Halloween Ends badass or trash review coming Monday or Tuesday. And thank you guys for watching, and stay dead, my friends. Later.